I'm here with Dr. Richard Denman of the Tourism Company UK, and he's going to tell us something about the world of sustainable tourism. My first question will be, Richard, what do you think where sustainable tourism is at the moment?
Sustainable tourism, I mean, so many people are talking about it now in a way that they weren't many years ago. I started life in this field 25 plus years ago. Now it's being talked about so much more, but we're still, in a way, finding the way forward. But at least the awareness has been raised, and it's so much higher on the agenda. So that's really, really good, I have to say. But the challenges are still with us.
Okay, so in this world of sustainable tourism, the role of certification, what do you think that is?
Well, certification is actually saying, look, we need to find out to what extent those of us who are delivering tourism are actually fulfilling certain key principles of sustainability. We can talk about what those principles are, but unless we have some sort of checklist to say, okay, we believe in that, but are we actually delivering it? Let's work through this and say, are you doing that? Are you doing that? Are you doing that? And if you're not, maybe you should be, and we're using it as a tool to get people to do more. That's what it's about, basically. So it's a checklist, and it's a way of saying to people, great for doing that, but you ought to be doing that as well. And therefore, it is a very powerful instrument, I believe.
I know you've worked on the GSTC criteria. What do you think that has done for sustainable tourism certification?
Well, I mean, basically what this is about is to say, up until now, we've had lots of people producing lists to say, this is what sustainability is about, this is what you ought to be doing. And naturally enough, a lot of them have been overlapping, but they really all ought to be pretty much covering the same thing if we're going to end up by saying that company, that place is sustainable. And so what the sustainable tourism criteria are there to do is to say, let's agree on an international list, if you like, and make sure that all the local bodies that are checking against this are following broadly the same agenda, the same list. And that's what those criteria are about.
Excellent. So finally, if you were to recommend what a sustainable tourism auditor should have as qualities,
right,
what do you think that should be?
It's got to be somebody who's systematic, who is prepared to say, look, we're going to work through this, we're going to make sure we're covering all the bases. We've got to be passionate so that when we're doing the checking, when we're talking to people, we're engaged with it, we're interested in the subject. But a lot of it is actually fairly mechanical checking process, and so the people who are involved have got to be prepared to work through things carefully, but with a lot of enthusiasm and interest behind it as well.
Okay. Dr. Denman, thank you very much for your interview.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to speak to you.